Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 3 in SPL VGC. My name is CBAD, coach of the Detroit Steel Wings, and I apologize if I sound a little stuffy. It is just that season, that time of year. But we're going to make it through. We're going to make it through, you and I. I'm very excited for this week's matchup because we have a lot to talk about. As you probably saw in the thumbnail, as you're looking at timestamps down below, you're like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, there's been some changes. So following last week's match, if you guys didn't watch it, spoilers in 3, 2, 1. We did end up losing to Viz. It was a very, very close set, but after that, I decided that there were some changes needed to the roster. So we're going to talk about some free agency transactions. There'll be some text floating somewhere on screen in post-production if you want to hop straight to the Teambuilder. I am bringing some of the new Pokemon, so I'd recommend watching the free agency transactions. And of course, if you don't want to watch any of that, there'll be some other text floating somewhere on screen in post-production if you want to hop right on ahead of the battle. Again, you're going to be very confused unless you go into it with an open mind that the team is different going into the battle. So if that's you, then proud of you. Congratulations. But for everybody else, let's go ahead and talk about the team. You guys see it on screen right now. There were some Pokemon that we ended up dropping in free agency, and I always say in free agency, you can't always get tit for tat. You can't drop one mon and immediately pick up, what's missing. You can't go one, you have to make some sacrifices there. So Pokemon that we dropped, we ended up dropping Galarian Weezing, we ended up dropping Iron Moth, Raichu, and Krokorok, which opened up about 35 points for our draft. So that leaves us with, we still have a fairy type. We lose the neutralizing gas. However, we didn't have the world's most amount of neutralizing gas abusers, so I'm not super concerned with that. Iron Moth, we lost some speed there. We lost some special offense, but I think we've got that covered with Fluttermane and Latios to an extent. And Iron Moth, really, it just felt like it wasn't doing it for me. To me, it just felt like it wasn't there. We dropped Raichu. Raichu, we have a lot of utility in Raichu. I think Raichu is fast. I think it provided a lot of good support. So we're going to need something to make up for that. And then we also lost Krokorok. We lost an electric immunity. We lost a dark type. And then we lost an intimidate user. So those are the things that I'm thinking of when I'm making these transactions. So one of the first things that came to mind looking at the team without those changes in mind is that we don't have a lot of physical power. We have a lot of special offense, so I do want to try to pick up more physical-based threats. We've got the Hariyama, and that's really about it. We've got Greedent and Hariyama, which are really good Pokemon in their own right, but if you put them up against like the S-tier Pokemon in the draft, it's really just not, it's very hard for them to hold a candle. So first Pokemon that we picked up in free agency is one of my all-time favorites in singles and in VGC, of course, is Gyarados. Now, Gyarados gives us a water type and a flying type. Bulky waters are always great in draft format, I feel. Flying type gives us a good ground immunity. Comes with 2 abilities. So it comes with the Intimidate ability, which we lost with Krokorok. So we're bringing back Intimidate support, dropping the opponent's attack stage by 1. And then we also have Moxie if we do knock out another Pokemon and KO it. If we attack it, knock out a Pokemon, our attack stage is raised by 1, allowing for this thing to just kind of steamroll. Really nice in this setting, I feel like, because overall, so 95 base HP, 125 attack, 79 defense, 60 special attack. We don't really talk about the special attack. 100 special defense and 81 speed. So like kind of middling speed tier, but I think in draft format, like especially in VGC, especially with a lot of the support that we have through things like Icy Wind, Tailwind, Trick Room, 81's not too bad. I think you'd either want it to be a little faster to just kind of stay away from the Trick Room mode, or a little bit slower to full send into Trick Room mode. So 81, depending on how we train the Gyarados, is going to be really, I feel, a good speed tier for this format. But what I really like about it is, although its defense is only base 79, Intimidate is dropping those physical attackers, so it really makes us a well-rounded, bulky Pokemon in my mind. So let's talk a little bit about what it gets access to. Of course, it has set up with access to moves like Dragon Dance. It's got all the fun physical coverage you'd come to expect with things like Aqua Tail, Crunch, Earthquake, Ice Fang, Iron Head, things along those lines. As far as support moves go, things like Taunt, things like Thunder Wave can be very nice. Of course, it does get access to Helping Hand, Speed Control, and Icy Wind. Support with things like Scary Face as well. So I'm really excited for this Pokemon. Like I said, I've used it to some success in singles in the past. I'm a big fan. It was on my radar originally during the draft, and I opted out of it. But seeing that it was still on the board, I'm like, you know what? Let's go for it. Let's go for it. I think it's a really, really solid Pokemon. Next Pokemon that we picked up is going to be Electabuzz. Now, I am a product of Regulation H VGC. I played all but one of my majors in Regulation H. I'm a huge fan of it, and one of the things in Regulation H that was so prominent were the rise and redirection, specifically in 2 Pokemon, Magmar and Electabuzz. So I picked up Electabuzz in free agency. Electabuzz is surprisingly, like, I don't know. I think if you're traditionally a singles player, you look at Electabuzz and you're like, really? Like, Really? Like, that's a good discount electric type if you needed it, but hear me out, hear me out. So, the good thing about Electabuzz is that it does get access to Eviolite, so while it does have only 65 HP, 57 defense, and 85 special defense, the Eviolite allows its defense and special defense to be multiplied by 1.5 times, which is fantastic. It's got a great ability in static, 30% of the time. If you make contact, you get paralyzed. It also has Vital Spirit, where the Pokemon cannot fall asleep. I think that'll be very niche depending on the rest of our schedule, but really the big thing I like with this one is that moves like Follow Me and Static always redirect Pokemon into that. It is not Rage Powder where grass types are immune and Safety Goggles ignore it. It is redirecting all single target moves into Electabuzz. So, if, for example, if there is a very strong fighting type on the board, if I am Terra Fairy and I redirect that, not only am I taking so very little damage from this, but I'm also having that 30% chance to paralyze as well. So I think defensively, this adds a lot of utility. The redirection and Follow Me, it does have access to Light Screen. It can taunt. Pretty fast taunt users as well. 105 base speed. You don't really need to invest too much to outspeed a lot of like support mons, which is really, really cool. Speed control, things like Electro Web, pivoting with Volt Switch. I think it's a really, really cool Pokemon. I'm very happy that I was able to pick it up. Like I said, I think Raichu provided a lot of utility that Electabuzz can provide a little better just because of how bulky it is and that redirection support, something that Raichu is lacking. So we've got 2 Pokemon left that I needed to pick up in free agency. We've got the Gyarados, we've got the Electabuzz. What else do we have going for us that we need to pick up? So again, a lot of special offense. Gyarados helps us with a little bit of that physical pressure, but it's really like as far as speedy physical offense goes, Gyarados needs a Dragon Dance. It needs some sort of speed control to go above because of its middling speed tier, as we talked about. So I want something that can go fast. I want something that can hit hard. Maybe something that has some versatility, maybe some good support. And that Pokemon is Blaziken. Blaziken, again, another Pokemon that saw some usage in Regulation HVGC. It has that same middling speed tier. It's actually technically slower than Gyarados with base 80 as opposed to 81 that Gyarados has. But Blaziken has the tried and true speed boost ability, which is not banned in this league, as it is in most singles leagues, to my knowledge. 120 attack, 110 special attack, just very, very solid Pokemon. Access to moves like Bulk Up, Swords Dance, all the fun physical coverage move that you would come to expect. Support moves with things like Will-O-Wisp, with things like coaching, being able to U-turn out, being able to go for protects to get the speed boost up, going for things like Feather Dance to lower attacks with a fast support. Of course, your helping hand, just really, 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 I think of a good mon. I think of a good mon, I think of Blaziken, just for the value that we get from it. Hits very hard physically, can also hit very hard specially as well, which I'm looking forward to. Provide some good support for the team, provide some good speed control. I'm really looking forward to it. The last Pokemon that I picked up in free agency, again, I think this Pokemon could be underutilized in draft format, especially in an open Terra. I don't know if VGC is the terrain to utilize this on, but I'm willing to give it a shot. The last mon that I picked up in free agency was Torterra. Now, Torterra, another starter, is that ground type, so we do have that electric immunity here. 95 HP, 109 attack, 105 defense, special defense 85, so, like, not bad on the bulk side, like 56 speed, so probably a little bit of a slower mon. It does have some cool setup moves, but could be utilized under Trick Room as well. 109 attack, also providing us just, again, a little bit more backbone. It does have the Shell Armor ability. We can never be crit alongside the standard Grass Starter Overgrow ability. It has access to set up through Curse, things like Shell Smash. It can set up screens. It can go for Swords Dance. We've got Wide Guard support, things along those lines, which are really beneficial that we didn't have much of before. So I'm really looking forward to it. So those are going to be the free agency transactions that we made. I hope you guys enjoy them. I have had, just speaking as somebody who is recording this after the fact, I have had a lot of fun with these Pokemon, and I hope that you guys are come to enjoy them just as much as I do. So that's going to be it for free agency. Let's go on ahead and talk about the team builder for this week, going up against my dear friend Liv. Liv is an absolute goat. I love her to death. She has been so just helpful in my endeavors, and if I can ever do anything to support her, I would drop everything at a moment's notice just to put her on her pedestal and just help her whatever I could. She has been such a homie to me over the years. Please go subscribe to her. Absolute goat, absolute fantastic individual. That being said, you guys are going to start to see some teams appear on screen right about now. My opponent has a team that consists of Raging Bolt, Volcanion, Alolan Ninetales, Garchomp, Tornadus Therian, Conkeldurr, Tinkaton, Stantler, Glaceon, and Trevenant. Some things to note about her team as I pull up my other spreadsheet here, because I was unprepared. That's why we record at 6:50 in the morning, because I'm unprepared. Pull this up right here. Things to note about the team. Her team's crazy good. Like, team is absolutely just bonkers. I love her team. If I could trade teams with any one person in the league, I think it would be Liv. Just quite honestly, I think it would be Liv. Things to note about the team. She, of course, has weather support and Alola Ninetales. She's got the Veil support. Very good Fairy Steel Dragon core on her team. Some multiplicity in that with multiple fairy types in Alola Ninetales and Tinkaton, which is super cool. Fluttermane, of course, outspeeds everything, which is really nice to know. We do also underspeed everything with Greedent if we felt like going a Trick Room route. So those are just some fun facts about the team. Let's go ahead and start talking about what we are bringing this week. First up, we are bringing Atlas the Torterra. Now, he is holding his loaded dice with the Shell Armor ability. I'm going crazy with it first week with Torterra, let me tell you. Bullet Seed, Rock Slide, Stomping Tantrum, and Shell Smash. 4 EVs in HP, 68 in attack, 196 in defense, 84 in special defense, 156 in speed with an Impish Nature. We are running Terra Steel defensively. I'm hoping that will help us take a hit from the Alola Ninetales and go from there. Loaded dice allowing Bullet Seed and Rock Slide to just do that much more at +2. Stomping Tantrum. I went Stomping Tantrum over Headlong Rush because of the drops. We're already taking drops from Shell Smash. I'm really not trying to like die to like a Thunderclap after a Terra or a Mach Punch before or after Terra. So I went with Stomping Tantrum for that ground coverage move as opposed to Headlong Rush. We'll see exactly how that plays out there. After a Shell Smash, we are outspeeding the entirety of Liv's team, which is great. We do super effective damage into most of them. Rock Blast into the Tornadus into the Alola Ninetales. Bullet Seed is actually doing a great amount to Garchomp. The Stomping Tantrum into the Tinkaton. Bullet Seed into the Stantler. Stomping Tantrum into the Raging Bolt. Rock Blast or Stomping Tantrum into Volcanion. Rock Blast into the Glaceon. Trevenant kind of walls this set, but I don't think Trevenant shows up when I have a Fluttermane and a Blaziken. And then Conkeldurr, Bullet Seed is doing a lot into. Conkeldurr has a very high natural, just physical bulk, so it'll be some good chip at the end of the day. Next up, we are bringing Knuckleball, the Electabuzz. Shout out to my guy, Sableye VGC. One of my first majors that I played in, he brought an Electabuzz Blaziken team, and it has scarred me and stuck with me since, so that may have influenced some decisions here. But either way, he is holding his Eviolite with the static ability. We have Follow Me, helping hand taunt on Electro Web, max investment in HP, 156 EVs in defense, 100 in speed with a Timid Nature. With this spread, we are outspeeding Stantler, Raging Bolt, Volcanion, Glaceon, Trevenant, and Conkeldurr, which is great to know. We have some good physical bulk in order to help out with things like non-ground coverage Garchomp. We don't want to take the ground move from Garchomp. We can Terra out of that if we want to. We are running Terra Water for a defensive Terra this week. Things like Stantler, things like the Trevenant, the Conkeldurr, just being Tinkaton, we're able to take those physical hits just a little bit better. Taunt is good support to shut down things like the Stantler, the Trevenant, the Tinkaton from going for those support moves. Electro Web is good for speed control for some of our other Pokemon if we want to bring them in the back. Next up, we are bringing Goldilocks the Illumise. She is holding her Mental Herb with the Prankster ability. We have Tailwind, Protect, Sunny Day, and Fake Tears. We are running Terra Water for a defensive Terra this week. 244 EVs in HP, 12 in defense, 252 in special defense with a Calm Nature. Tailwind support, always good to outspeed your opponents. I think one of the keys to winning a battle is to just hit first and hit hard. So Tailwind is good for that. Sunny Day helps to activate the Photosynthesis on Fluttermane, which we are bringing in the back, as well as activate, just put out some more damage for Blaziken, which is also in the back. And then Fake Tears being able to drop the special defense is always good. You have some very bulky mons. Veil support is going to be is going to be there. So being able to just go for like the Fake Tears into things like Alola Ninetales, into Vest abusers such as like Tornadus, into Tinkaton, and a Raging Bolt, dropping those special defense stats through an Assault Vest and through Veil is going to be pretty beneficial to us. Next up, we are bringing Wintergreen the Latios. They are holding their Soul Dew with the Levitate ability, Draco Meteor, Luster Purge, Weather Ball, and Protect. Max investment in special attack and speed with 4 EVs in special defense. Protect, same tried and true. We are running Terra Fire this week for a defensive Terra, but also if we are able to get the sun up with Goldilocks and go for a Terra Fire Weather Ball, that is doing great damage into things like Alola Ninetale and the Tinkaton and the Glaceon and the Trevenant, which is really good. Draco Meteor and Luster Purge do a great amount of damage either way. Also, Weather Ball capitalizes on Olivia's Snow, which is going to be good damage into things like the Tornadus and the Garchomp and the Raging Bolt as well, and Trevenant. Fire and Ice coverage going kind of crazy. Draco Meteor, Luster Purge again, just doing great things in the back. Next up, Danny Phantom, Fluttermane. They're holding a Pixie Plate, Photosynthesis, Mystical Fire, Moonblast, Dazzling Gleam, and Protect. 92 EVs in defense, 252 in special attack, 164 in speed with the Timid Nature. We are outspeeding everything on Liv's side of the field. We actually have a little bit more investment in speed than normal. We would only need 191 in order to outspeed Liv's team, so if there is any Scarfer that she's deciding to bring, that would be calced to outspeed a optimized Flutter main. They would hit 192 speed. I'm hitting 193 speed, since the 164 EVs in speed. Max special attack, 92 in defense. We do have our Terra Fairy for maximum damage output. Mystical Fire is cool, super effective into things like Alolan Ninetales, into Tinkaton, into Glaceon, into Trevenant. Also drops special attack to help support the rest of the team. Moonblast and Dazzling Gleam paired with Terra Fairy and Pig's Plate go absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Rest of the EVs in defense just for a little bit more bulk. And last but not least, we are bringing Fastball the Blaziken. He's holding a Focus Sash with the speed boost ability, Terra Stellar, Close Combat, Flare Blitz, Coaching, and Protect. 28 EVs in HP, 252 in attack, 4 in defense, 4 in special defense, 220 in speed with an adamant nature. With this, we are speed tying a max speed Timid Glaceon, but most importantly, after a Protect, we are able to outspeed the entirety of Liv's team. Close Combat and Flare Blitz go really nuts into her team as well, in my opinion, and Coaching is good support for things like Torterra if we decide to go for it. Boosting that physical defense back up after a Shell Smash could be really good. Making some of our other Pokemon a little bit more bulkier, making Electabuzz a little bit more bulky, making Latios or Fluttermane a little bit more bulky too could go a long way. Terra Stellar gives us a lot of damage output if we ever just need to like turn on a switch and click a button and hopefully knock something out. Close Combat, Flare Blitz, both 120 base power moves, doing a lot of damage. That is going to be the team. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys in the battle.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with week 3 in the SPL. My name is CBAD, coach of the Detroit Steel Wings. We are taking on my dear friend Liv. Olivia Sama, please go check out her channel. The link will be in the description. She has been such a homie to me over the years. We have worked together behind the scenes on quite a few things, and I'm very excited. It's been a long time since her and I have gotten the chance to battle, so very, very excited. I hope you guys are too. Leave a like if you're hyped, subscribe for more VGC content, and I'll see you guys at team preview. All right, so we got Raging Bolt. We see Stantler. Stantler did show up. Volcanion, Tinkaton, Conkeldurr. No Garchomp, interestingly enough, and we see Ninetales. We have Terra Fairy on Bolt. We have Stantler is Terra Dark. Volcanion is Terra Ground. Tinkaton is Terra Steel. Conkeldurr, Terra Steel. And Alolan Ninetales is Terra Ghost. Okay, so taking a look at her team. What do I want to lead off with here? Speed-wise, what would be Scarfed? What would be Scarfed here? Because, like, speed-wise, like, there's no Tornadus. Alolan Ninetales is, like, the fastest bit on the field, right? So I think I could lead off with... I'm pretty sure I could lead off with you and you. I could lead off with Fluttermane and Electabuzz. In the back, probably Torterra and Latios. Let's try that. Let's try that. Fluttermane, Electabuzz, Torterra, Latios. Okay. We said our good luck, have funs. I'm excited. Week 3. We got some good trades going into this week. It's the first time we're using them, obviously. You heard about the free. If you didn't hear the free agency and the team builder, go back and watch that because I talk about it more in that area. But we've got some pretty... Oh, I love her trainer card. We've got some pretty cool Pokemon that we are using here. So I'm excited. Ninetales and Volcanion right off rip. Okay. All right. Cool. So I'm curious about Volcanion's Terra Ground. Can't really do too much to Volcanion. What about Alolan Ninetales? If I grab a quick little helping hand, I could knock that out if I wanted to commit Terra right now. I go for that. Moonblast and a Ninetales, little helping hand boost. Let's try that. Let's go for that. We'll commit. If I can pick up an early gain on this one, I'm good with that. Oh. Love the servers. Love the servers. All right. Back in the driver's seat. Driver's seat. Something. No DCs. We're recreating turn 1. She's already seen what happens. I did not see what happened on my end, so I don't know if that means it was my DC or her DC. I don't know how those work. We're going to give it a shot. She at least saw up through here. So we'll see what happens. If I can pick off an early pick on Alolan Ninetales, I'm good with that. Let's see what we can make happen. Big Moonblast. Focus Sash. All right, good to know. Yep, there's the Veil. Okay. There's the Heat Wave from Volcanion. Okay, not too bad. Let me get a read. I don't think that was any sort of damage like that. What did that put me down to? 75? 75. Yeah, okay. So that was either a high roll, timid, mid roll, modest. Either way. Either way, I'm fine with that. I'll go for the Dazzling Gleam here. I'll go for the Dazzling Gleam to make sure I pick up the Ninetales, and then I'm fine with an Electro Weapon of Volcanion too. Fluttermane KO's Ninetales with Dazzling Gleam. I'm not faster. I should be faster than Volcanion, actually. Yep, we'll get a big Electro Web off. Good damage, good damage. Drop the speed a little bit. There's a Heat Wave again. Okay, good. We're living on both. Okay, what comes in now? Raging Bolt comes in. Okay. All right, Raging Bolt comes in, and this is Terra Fairy, potentially. Dazzling Gleam without the Helping Hand boost is not doing too much. However, the Moonblast is doing quite a bit. I can also get a special attack drop, so I'll go for a Moonblast and a Raging Bolt. And I will try to go for the Follow Me to redirect like a Thunderclap. Here comes Terra Fairy on Bolt. Yep. So maybe I can get one of those fun little special attack drops. But either way, we'll try to redirect that. Heat Wave will knock out the Fluttermane at the end of the day. Assuming it connects, which it likely will. Good damage. We do get the special attack drop. That's always fun. Goes for Snarl. Okay. So that could be AV. I didn't do them. Oh, I forgot about the Veil. With Veil up, it could be. Critical hit didn't never mattered. Volcanion KO's Fluttermane with Heat Wave. Volcanion KO's Electabuzz. Okay. On my end now, we've got a pretty good lock into Torterra and Latios. So I'm fine with that. Your Focus Sash, you've only got 2 more turns of the Veil. I will go for a Shell Smash with Torterra. And I will attempt to just drop a Draco into Volcanion. Huge. All right, Latios KO's Volcanion. All right. Torterra is faster than 0 speed Raging Bolt, so this is no speed. Interesting. Okay. Snarl comes out. That's going to be fine. What comes on the last spot here? Yeah, this is 0 speed investment Raging Bolt if we are faster than that. Unless it was a speed tie at like +1, Conkeldurr comes in. Okay. All right. I think like Bullet Seed into Luster Purge might be the play on the Conkeldurr. I'll go for that.
Oh, so close.
So close. Draco Meteor and Latios. -1 is going to knock me out. All right. Latios, Raging Bolt. KOs Latios with Draco Meteor. Con Kelder KOs Torterra with close combat. Okay. So we got a lot of good information in this game. We got a lot of good information in this game, I feel like. Mainly I need a little bit more pressure on the Volcanion off rip. So that might be Blaziken. I think I need to outspeed Latios just to be able, or the Ninetales, just to make sure that I can like put it down. So let's lead Latios Fluttermane game 2 to try to deny Veil. Alternatively, I could also lead with Goldilocks and go for the Sun. That would power up the Heat Wave, though. I could lead Goldilocks. If I Terra on Latios, that gives Steam Eruption on Volcanion. Let's lead Latios Fluttermane game 1, or game 2 rather. In the back, let's go with Torterra and Sash Blaziken. Let's try that. So she could go with the same 4, but I do want to deny that Veil, and unfortunately I think denying that Veil is, I'm going to need to do that with Latios and Fluttermane both. Volcanion Raging Bolt. Okay. So I can definitely see Raging Bolt Terroring here. Which means Luster Purge into you. Probably a Mystical Fire into you as well. I'm going to double into Raging Bolt here. Both these threaten you. I feel like that's the safest play to do is just Terra. Yep. Okay. Yep. Raging Bolt Terras again. So we'll get the special attack, drop the Mystical Fire, which will be good for us. That is AV. All right. -1 Draco knocks me out. Raging Bolt KOs Latios with Draco Meteor. Steam Eruption from the Volcanion. Doing good there. Does snag a burn. Okay. Blaziken is... I don't know if that Volcanion's fast or not. Let's go into Blaziken here. Let's go into Blaziken here. What are we doing to Volcanion? Max HP Volcanion, 49 to 58. If I Terra, close combat's going to do 66 to 78. I could Moonblast. I could CC. I could Terra Stellar CC into Volcanion. And drop a Moonblast into Volcanion, because I think Raging Bolt's out of here. Raging Bolt's -3 right now. Thunderclap and Fluttermane brings me down to 16. All right, we are able to knock out Volcanion with the CC. All right. Blaziken KOs Volcanion with close combat. Okay. Living on a prayer at 8 HP. Love it. Living on a prayer at 8 HP. 9 Sails comes out. All right. I can't deny Veil here. What I can do is go for the coaching into Fluttermane and swap Fluttermane into Torterra on the Thunderclap. Yup. There's the Veil. Okay. With the Veil up at +1. Rock Slide's doing something, and then what am I doing with Flare Blitz in return to Ninetales? A lot. So let's go for the Flare Blitz into Ninetales. And I'll try to go for a Rock Slide here. Bring it down to Sash. Freeze Dry into Torterra. That's 4 times super effective. Oh, I don't live that. That's crazy. All right. I definitely thought. All right. That's game. They're with Freeze Dry. Raging Bolt may knock me out here. -3, it does not. Okay. Bolt Switch is the last move. Okay. I think that's going to be game. I think we just got to bring it as close as we can. Conkeldurr comes out. Guts Flame Orb. All right. All right. We got Fluttermane in. So Fluttermane can go for a little Razzle Dazzle. I think if I close combat the Conkeldurr and Dazzling Gleam, Mach Punch probably takes me out. Oh, Mach Punched into Fluttermane. All right, so we'll get some damage there. That is not a lot of damage. All right, Fluttermane does pick up the double KO. If only I had 1 more HP. Fluttermane dies to Volcanion burn damage. All right. Yeah, I don't. Raging Bolt. Thunderclap always does 1,000,000 damage to me. You have like 3 of them left. 8 of them left. Six of them left. I have to get the 6 protect in a row. I don't think there's a world where I can win this one. Yeah, you're tanky enough. Just knock me out with a Volt Switch from there. Yup. All right. GG. Would Flare Blitz have even... I don't think... Yeah, not with the Aurora Veil up. No, not with the Aurora Veil up. No, that was doing 29 to 30. GG to live. That was a fun set. Raging Bolt. KO's Blaziken with Volt Switch. All right. All right, that was a super fun set. GG's to Liv. I hope you guys have enjoyed this week's battles. If you have, leave a like, subscribe if you're new for more VGC content. Definitely go check out my friend Liv. Like I said, link to her channel will be in the description of this video. All that being said, I want to remind you guys to be great and do great, and I'll see you guys next week for game day. Later.